Hello and welcome to Soundbites. I'm your host, Holly Whitfield from the Daily Memphian. I am here with Memphis chefs and restaurateurs Harrison Downing and Cole Jeans. How are y'all doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for having us.
Doing good. Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about Kinfolk, a breakfast spot in Harbor Town that's doing weekly pop-ups on Sundays at Hard Times Deli in the Edge District. We'll talk about how Cole and Harrison are working together on that. We're also going to talk about their new bar coming up soon, also in the Edge District, Gussied Up. But first, know that Soundbites is the Daily Memphian's dining podcast. It's free, and you can catch all the extended editions of our episodes through Apple Podcasts or Spotify or dailymemphian.com. You can also catch new episodes of Soundbites with me, Holly Whitfield, on Thursdays on WYXR Radio at 11 a.m. WYXR is definition of radio cool, and we love having a little spot on their Thursday lineup. If you are listening now on WYXR, up next you can tune into the Sidebar podcast with Daily Memphian CEO Eric Barnes. But let's get started with Cole and Harrison. Cole, let's go with you first. You haven't been on Soundbites before, so welcome.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Before we get into the saga that is Kinfolk right now, which there's lots of good news, so I'm excited about that. But let's talk about you. Where are you from, and how did you get into the restaurant business?
I'm from Memphis, kind of like the Arlington area. I went to Arlington High School. Was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a job when I was growing up, and really loved the creative aspect in general. So I wanted to figure out how I could do that for a living, and somehow I ended up at culinary school. That was like the easiest thing I could get into.
So did you work in restaurants, and then one day you had the idea for Kinfolk? Yeah. So I was in culinary school, actually. One of the last projects you do is you work in a restaurant, essentially, and like kind of start from the ground up as a project. And it was a different name, but kind of the similar thing, and built around the hero product of like a biscuit. Yes.
And it just kind of grew from there over the years to what it is now. It definitely has many different variations of Kinfolk, and which, you know, I love, like, kind of honing it over time.
Yeah.
As we get more data and things like that. But I worked in tons of restaurants around here with Jimmy Gentry. Worked at Porcelino's when it was opening, Hog and Hominy. Yeah, and just want to do my own thing. I've always kind of been stubborn like that. I was like, I'm going to go do something for myself, even though I was not experienced enough to do it. But jumped into it. I got the opportunity for the food hall when it came up, and I was just doing personal like catering and stuff out of a second floor apartment, which was miserable, having to like load everything in, take it back down, wash everything. And someone gave me the opportunity to put a stall in, and that's where the name kind of blossomed and the whole thing really started. And after that, the food hall went down, went under, and then...
and this is the 409 South Main.
This is 409 South Main. I was like one of the first vendors there.
Now you had pop-ups at Comeback Coffee downtown.
Yeah. So in between the food hall and there, I worked around with Jimmy and stuff, and then helped open up Comeback. Eventually had that. I was doing the food program there.
Yes.
And they gave me the opportunity to do the pop-up on the weekends to kind of restart Kinfolk. And that was really fun. It was selling out.
Breakfast sandwiches, chicken biscuits, hash browns.
Yep. Focus on the biscuit, really. It's grown into like biscuit sandwiches, plates, and bowls. It's kind of how we structure it. And we say it's like a fancy Waffle House, even though we don't sell waffles. But like the structure of it is that. It's a diner. It's a Southern diner. And
So just give us a little update on Kinfolk. You had to close some last summer after some flooding at the Harbortown location. You're closed now. You're kind of redoing things because you found some mold.
Yep.
It's not the black mold. It's just you just want it to be exactly right.
I don't want to have to do this again.
Yeah.
The starting and stopping is not only for my sanity but my team's sanity. Like the security of having a job is very important. So. If they don't feel like, the next time it's going to happen next week, or who knows when it's going to happen. So like, I just need to make sure that we have it all squared away. And it's been a process for sure. It's taken way longer than expected. But remediation is happening. It's just very, very slow at this point. We have a bunch of wood panels on our walls that have an air gap, and having to take those off and like put them back up and clean them is a process. So it's taking a minute.
Have you thought about being somewhere else? Leaving that space entirely? I know that's probably not something you love talking about, but it is something people would wonder.
Yeah, I think I don't want to leave the space. I love the area. I love the neighborhood. I live there. I raised my kids there. And there's a lot of momentum happening there with, tugs and all the rebrand, whatever they're doing in that area. So there's going to be a lot more energy. So it's really hard to say that, but I would love to stay if we can get everything fixed.
Right.
Because I do think it's a special place over there.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you can't really recreate that neighborhood feeling, and the response that I've heard from people whenever they go to Kinfolk in that space, it's been like, they just love it. They just love the idea of going to a neighborhood spot from walking, whether they live there or not. And again, I know this is a hard thing to talk about when you're going through all these construction challenges and challenges with your business. And like our office at the Daily Memphian flooded, not this December, but last December. January completely flooded out. So we're actually recording today, the very first day that we have moved into like a new space after being temporary and remote and all over.
It's over a year and a half.
Over a year and a half. And so even that is like, some people here are like, oh, don't talk about the flood. Like everyone was safe. Everything was fine. But we have the luxury of being able to do a lot, at least, of what we do on the production side remotely. You can't do that with a restaurant. So I appreciate you talking about that. And so that's kind of when I wanted to talk about y'all's business partner, Schuyler O'Brien. So Cole, you, Schuyler, and Harrison kind of gets you involved here at Hard Times. You're doing Sunday pop-ups with Kinfolk. You want to tell me about that?
Sure, yeah. I really love kind of evolving with data. So like we've originally started with Kinfolk as a QSR kind of counter service, and then it went into, all right, this is more of a sit down. I really enjoyed that hospitality that the server provided and to that experience with that. And now with having to go to Hard Times, we really can't do the full service restaurant. So we wanted to come up with like a QSR fun,
quick service restaurant. If people don't know.
Yeah, quick service restaurant that's counter service, just like we do at the deli. And we were able to produce really high quality items quickly. And that's where Sundays came up. And it was really just like trying to, like, I crave like nothing days, that's what I call it, where like I have literally nothing on the calendar, just a Sunday in a coffee shop with my wife and kids or something. It's very rare. And so that's kind of what we try to do, is like anthropomorphize that thing. So that's why it's called Sundays, like a possessive. But yeah, we do plays on nostalgic things of my childhood, like a McGriddle, and we do a breakfast crunchwrap, really fun plays on things with higher quality ingredients. So Anson Mills oats and Bluff City oyster mushrooms. And yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. It's so far every Sunday or so at the deli at 8 a.m. until we sell out. So we just do like 80 items of each thing, and then that's it.
And then it's gone. Yeah. I'm looking at the sort of flyer for Sundays on your Instagram, and it says, look at the bright side. It's got a big smiling sun. It says, making the best of a bad situation, Kinfolk plus Hard Times. So I really love that sunny look, and you've got this kind of red checkered thing that might come up later. I have a sneaky feeling. But so Harrison, the last time we talked to you, which was season 8, episode 3, we think, back in January, you were about to open Hard Times. It was about to open. I think you had been doing a lot of like soft opening and friends and family, but it was about to be like the official
Yeah, we opened officially February 18th.
Yeah.
So it was right before there. You probably caught me in a better mental state, for sure, right before we opened. But yeah, it was.
How's it been going?
It's been an adventure. I'm very fortunate from the love that we've gotten from the city. The first 4 months were insane. I'm glad everybody's there. All my staff is still there. where our sanity is still there. We're starting to get into some more realistic. He keeps referencing data. At the first 4 months, it was kind of just hold on tight. I kept calling Cole and Scott and be like, dude, I used to be really good at this job. Like, I feel like this is insane. I'm running out of everything. We're prepping everything. And it was just kind of a hold on tight kind of situation. But now we've gotten more realistic numbers. We're starting to get things dialed in, taking on new ventures with like catering, and we're going to try to see if we can figure out some delivery services and things like that. We're on Uber Eats now, which we couldn't do before.
Wow, brave.
And so just little things on earlier in the week, trying to keep the numbers high. It's just kind of our mentality with this stuff. The second you slow down, we figure out how to get it busy again. And when I say slow down, I guess we're still Fridays, Saturdays are still pretty crazy. But like earlier in the week, it's a little bit more. You're not waiting in line. You're not out the door.
Yeah. So people who are against line waiting, you heard it here. Go get your Hard Times.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Sweet spot. Yep.
But yeah, it's been great. And that also, when it happened again at Kinfolk, it gave us the opportunity. I was talking to Cole, and we're very fortunate that we have 2 restaurants, and we're closed on Sundays, which is a huge day for him. And so we thought it would be really fun to continue to use the space and let the staff still get together, because a lot of the Kinfolk staff are these guys that are friends, and Cole got them jobs at other places in the meantime, and they still want to get together and cook together, and he gets to see him on Sunday, and whether it's stressful or not, it's a way to keep people eating his food, and it's a cool way to me to see him get to express it differently. He kind of did a really good job with the menu, mashing up both Hard Times and Kinfolk. He's kind of took some items from the Hard Times menu that I've come up with and added it to his things. And I told him the other day we went and ate it for the first time, my wife and I. Luckily, we know the people at Slow Down, so I texted Eli and was like, I'm just going to go eat in there, so I didn't have to worry about all of his craziness. But I knew there was a table sitting in there, so we kind of unlocked Slow Down and ate in there together, and I got to enjoy one of those off days that he talks about where we were just sitting in a room eating good food with my wife and my son. And I looked at him, I was like, we've cooked some pretty ridiculous meals together, but that McGriddle that he does might be my favorite thing he's ever made.
Is that what you had?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Those pancakes are like perfect. Everybody knows the griddle cakes he makes it's the closest thing to a perfect pancake I think I've ever eaten. And I don't like to toot Cole's horn very often. But that silly little sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle is probably my favorite thing he's ever made. And like I said, we've done a lot of crazy dinners together.
What is the most popular sandwich at Hard Times?
It's a toss-up. It depends on the weather and the day. I'd say hot sandwiches. It's really close every time with the chopped cheese and the buffalo chicken. Cold sandwiches, the turkey bacon ranch and the Italian. If it's remotely, we joke about it every time. There's someone every day at 10 o'clock in the morning getting a buffalo chicken sandwich. And we're just like, that you have to have today off. Like at 10 in the morning, your house and a 10-inch buffalo chicken, whole breaded chicken thigh. It's like, I hope you're going home. And that's kind of what I tell a lot of people when they ask what sandwich they should get. I'm saying, are you eating it here? Are you going? Is it going to be to go?
What are you doing afterwards? Like, what are you prepared to handle?
Are you taking half with you? Because like the chopped cheese, it is good. It's very good afterwards. And the hot sandwiches are good. But like the Italian, I joke around, it ages like wine. Like you can put it in your refrigerator and eat it the next day, and it's like kind of better.
It kind of marries all together.
Yeah. Like the bread gets a little bit
have to try that next
soggy.
time.
And things like that. But yeah, I would say the chopped cheese is a killer. We do a bunch of them. A sneaky salmon, and it goes in waves. Like we're starting to get people that they're working their way down the menu.
Oh yeah.
And
it's time for them to try something new finally.
Yeah, so we'll have last week our Arby's beef and cheddar went crazy. And so I had to. Luckily, we're friends with the guys at Home Place because they have a key to the restaurant and do some things that they don't do for other people for us. And so I had to get a little extra beef in. So they help us out. Shout out John Jordan and Marshall.
That's great.
But it's between those four. are always back and forth. The turkey, chopped cheese, Italian, and buffalo chicken.
Good stuff. Always makes me hungry. Talk about food on Sound Bites. So I want to take a quick break and tell you all that you are listening to the Sound Bites podcast with me, Holly Whitfield from the Daily Memphian. We are talking today to Harrison Downing and Cole Jeans. We're talking about Kinfolk. We're talking about Hard Times Deli. And we're about to talk about a new project that they're working on with their other business partner, Schuyler O'Brien, and it's called Gussied Up. And it's going to be in the Edge District, very near, sharing the same kitchen, I believe, with Hard Times. And then I'm gonna like rib y'all a little bit about the dive bar thing. So this is how I want to do it. Give me, please, either one of you really, like an elevator pitch for Gussied Up. And then I'm going to tell you what our newsroom said today about dive bars. And then we'll get into the real details.
I think that through like our restaurants is being like a neighborhood joint, like a neighborhood place. The sandwiches, Kinfolk, and now Gussied Up. Like we want it to be like community and like feel cozy. Like you want to, at the end of your workday, want to go there, whatever it may be. So that's what I think.
And my quick rundown, my spiel when people ask me about it now, it'll be more seating for the deli during the day. So if you've been in Hard Times before, when you go down that hallway right next to our fingerboard skate park, there's the end of the hallway. Shout out Bailey. He's our in-house fingerboard skate park builder.
Yeah, it's important to have that.
Yes. He, but that wall is fake. And so when Gussied Up will be opened, you'll be able to go and there'll be more seating during the day for Hard Times. And then at night, we'll cut off that hallway right where the bathrooms are. So you'll share a bathroom and you can get into our kitchen that way as well. And so during the day, it'll be more times for Hard Times. At night, we'll cut it off. And that's when we'll flip the menu to the Gussied Up menu. We take inspiration, like he said, from a lot of like neighborhood things like that. And our favorite places to go to when we go to other cities and Memphis, a lot of our favorite bars are dive bars.
Yeah.
So we're pulling inspiration from those dive bars and putting that, putting our twist on it. Similar to like Cole said earlier, it's a fancy Waffle House.
Yeah.
When you walk into Kinfolk, you're not like, this isn't Waffle House. But he pulled inspiration from that and kind of elevated it a little bit. With Hard Times, it's the same way. It's where those Northeast delis you walk into, ours are similar to that, but it's not a Northeastern deli. Yeah. So we're pulling inspiration from those dive bars. We'll want the neon lights and we're probably going to do a variation of the checkerboard floor so it flows into that, and just kind of that place where anybody can go when they get off work. We're kind of making the Edge District our home. And so Gussied Up can kind of be that place. And we're working with Schuyler on his other ventures and a lot with John Halford and Scott Tashy over at Flyway. And we're really trying to make the Edge District somewhere you can come
like
in the morning.
Walkable.
Yeah. And you can you can come in, you can have a sandwich for lunch, then you can go have a beer at Flyway, then you can go check out some art, you can go have a nice dinner at Jim, and then go have a cocktail afterwards at Bar Limina. So this will just be another element to that, to where if you don't want to go put nice clothes on, you can go grab a beer. All the people from all the college kids, we envision there's going to be people in non-slip shoes from a restaurant. There's going to be people in scrubs from the hospitals. There's going to be people from lawyers from down there that just want to come grab a quick beer and a burger. It's a place where anybody is welcome. We have Bar Limina down the street doing unreal things with cocktails. That's not going to be us. We're going to have funny.
Fun.
Yeah, we're going to have like funny cocktails. But it's going to be like that beer and a shot. You're going to have local beers. You're going to have good food. When you go to those dive bars, like Ernestine and Hazel's, for instance, you can get that soul burger where they chunk that frozen patty on the flat top. Like we want to do that, but our way, where it's going to be grass-fed beef, and like we'll do the smash burger from Secret Smash Society.
Well, that's when people say like, oh, it's not a dive bar because it's not this, or why are you trying to be like, no, you're not trying to, because they already do that at Ernestine and Hazel's. Why would you do the exact same thing? We already have that.
That's what inspired us to do this, are the dive bars. And
we understand that a dive bar it takes time. It's not like you create it. Like it has to be lived in. It has to be smoked in. Like, you know,
some beer has to be spilled on the floor.
Tons of crazy stories.
Fight or two.
We know that we literally can't create it. We were just taking like the framework of it and kind of building on it.
Well, that's the perfect segue for me to tell y'all what our newsroom and Daily Memphian staff said about what they think about a dive bar in general. I think this is just separate from Gussied Up, but I just think it's a fun, I call it the dive bar challenge. Okay, what is it? I'm not even going to like read who said what. It's a hole in the wall. It's kind of gross. I will name who said this. Our food writer, Ellen Chamberlain, said, it's like porn. You know it when you see it. Then she said, it has to be older than I am, cheaper than other bars, still a really good time. Someone else said, smoking allowed inside. Someone else said, it's dank. It's not bad, but not fancy on purpose. Bianca, I'm naming a few, I guess. It definitely has to be cheap and grimy, the kind of place where people might do something illegal in the bathroom. Now, that is just an opinion on a dive bar. Someone else said age is a requirement. It's got to have been around and seen some things, just like the employees. There's always that regular in the back that's there somehow. Someone said dive bars aren't made. They just become. It's a right to be earned. A place like Louis Connolly's gets a pass because it was Printer's Alley before, but those vibes lived on. Most of all, it can't be too trendy, is what someone said. We're talking like Lamplighter, Alex's Tavern. We mentioned Louis Connolly's, Ernestine Hazel's. Some that are no longer around, like P&H, Kudzu's. I got a few more to throw out at you, and then I want to hear more about like the menu and some of these fun drinks. And the timeline. You know I'm going to have to ask about that. Someone said no liquor license, beer only, always open. Smoky smell, bad lighting, pool table, jukebox, and gut bomb food you will regret in the morning, but it is so delicious at 2 a.m. Why we gotta regret it? Maybe we don't have to regret it. Someone said if my hair doesn't stink when I get home, where did I even go? And then I liked this answer. It was a little nuanced. Novelty lighting in some form. Sports is not the focus, and at least one signature dish. I thought that was a very thoughtful answer for a dive bar.
Did you write that?
He did not write that. A Facebook friend of mine, Nick Clark, wrote that. And then finally, Chris Harrington also made some great observations, as he does. You can be a cool neighborhood bar and a good hang without being a dive bar. Rest in peace, Kudzu's or Sweetgrass next door at Belmont Grill. They all are different from each other, but fit their neighborhoods. They had some dive bar qualities without being dive bars, ambiance, a price ceiling. Otherwise, you're doing something else. And then he said, Lamplighter, P&H are some of the cool versions like that we have in Memphis. There are a lot of dodgy places, mostly we didn't go to or didn't write about, that are probably a real dive bar. If you open a new place cultivating a dive bar aesthetic, it's just dive bar adjacent or inspired. And I just enjoy all those insights.
Hashtag Gussied Up right there.
Yeah, hashtag Gussied Up. That's great.
Yeah, and like when people would come to Memphis, like after Etowah dinners and things like that we would go. Besides yours, the first Etowah we did, and all of us ended up at Ernestine and Hazel's.
Yeah.
Like after my wedding, everybody ended up at Ernestine and Hazel's. Like these are the places that we take inspiration from. Probably my favorite dive bar that I've probably ever been to. I have a lot of love with RIP the Buccaneer.
Oh my gosh.
I've had many of Sunday night, Monday mornings at the Buck.
That's the first place I ever drank in Memphis.
Yep, and that was, to me, those are the places that you keep things near and dear. We go to Schuyler loves Louis Conley's, and those are Lamplighters, P&H.
Alex Tavern.
Yeah, that's P&H's where I have a painting of the P&H on my wall at my house. That's where I met my wife. We did our engagement photos at the P&H, and I required her when she said she wanted to do that we paid them extra to do it when nobody was in there. So it wasn't like extremely awkward for us to be inside the P&H.
Posing.
Yeah, like posing with beers. But that's exactly what we're trying to do. A neighborhood spot, and eventually maybe 10,
it'll become that
15 years from now, if it's still hanging out in the Edge District, it could be everyone's favorite. We're staying away from the word dive.
Yeah, we get it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Came after us.
Yeah, we never said that.
Stop
We're inspired by dive bars. Inspired is the key word there.
Yeah.
Thank you for humoring me and clearing that up. I knew people would appreciate that conversation and y'all's honesty. And I just want to say I appreciate just trying to do something a little new, doing something with enthusiasm, giving Memphis something that's well done. There are lots of people, I'm sure, in every city that try to do some kind of concept, whether it's a trend concept like a barcade or whatever, or just their own thing. And they're not like our city deserves good places that are run by people that want to be around and they want to make it high quality. So it's cool to see you guys in the way that you talk about like that's what you're aiming for. We have a couple minutes left, and I feel like y'all don't. You've name dropped a few. Y'all don't probably have time to go out a lot, but I do love to get any recommendations you have for where you like to go to dinner. If there's a specific drink that you have. I'm trying to talk about a drink every week. It doesn't have to be like an alcoholic drink. It can be a coffee drink or something. So what's something good you've had recently to eat or drink?
I can hit you that drink right off the bat.
Don't do it.
Let's do it.
I think we can probably say it at the same time.
That's fine.
Bar lemon?
Yeah, espresso margarita at Bar
Yeah,
Lemon.
it's pretty tasty.
Espresso margarita.
Yeah.
That's like the only one I didn't try there. Or maybe they didn't even have it there when I went.
It might be like a little off menu thing.
Yeah.
They're making them. When we had them together the first time, Cole and I had like 3 each.
Yeah.
And
I'm like a one drink guy too.
Yeah,
so
and I was up to like, they are espresso margaritas. So drink them knowing it might keep you up a little bit, but it was a hard night to fall asleep.
Yeah.
But they're very tasty. It's very fruity and like chocolatey almost. I think it has
it's
mole
a
in
mezcal,
it.
so it's got like a smoky flavor. Josh is probably going to kill us with this description of his drink. But it's wonderful.
He'll survive.
Yeah. He said hi also.
Yeah. It is it is very, very tasty. Other than that, I went to gym for the first time, and Josh was like, man, is this really your first time? And I had an unbelievable experience there. It was our last date night with Lee and I before we went to the soft opening for Limina. We went and had food, sat at the bar. It's a really cool open kitchen. I guess I'm just kind of shouting out the
What did you have there?
The crudo plate was unbelievable. There was, what else did we have that was super, super good? And then all of the wines we had, their wine program is unbelievable. My prep cook at night is she sends me there a lot. Her fiance is their wine director, and he does really good things. But yeah, the crudo plate, and then I had their crawfish dip. I'm probably butchering that, but it was like a seafood dip. It was awesome. And then Josh brought us some stuff, but it was really cool sitting at that bar because you can like watch them cook, and which I really enjoyed. That was the last date night we had with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
Like, where are you getting breakfast when you're not making breakfast?
It's so rare. I don't.
Yeah, I said Good Fortune last time, so I said Good Fortune.
Of course, I love Good Fortune. It's always a classic that we go to. Okay, I mean, of course, I love all the classics, all Andy and Mike's places. Lobbyist is great with Jimmy Gentry.
I feel like we kind of just go. We kind of just go where our friends are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is we're
That's the way
very
to do it.
blessed to do that. Catherine and Mary's or Good Fortune. But yeah, I had I guess outside of Josh is our friend, but outside of our circle, I really, really enjoyed gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that whole area, I know you already spoke to this, but just like Medical District, Edge District, there's so much going on over there. I mean, there's like a Rock-and-Do with little bowling, like if you have kids, and hopefully there'll be some more retail and some other like activity-based places. But there's enough galleries over there to do a gallery crawl. I did that last fall, like before even some of these places had opened up, and we had like a great day.
We just had it was just an art crawl in the Edge District. And the Edge District does a lot of cool stuff like that. There's Colors and Coffee, which is awesome if you haven't been.
The Motor Museum over there.
Yeah, and it's the first Saturday of every month. It's awesome. We went and we did dogs and daiquiris when they had the art crawl. I went and sold hot dogs, and Josh like paired them with a really sick daiquiri at Bar Lemina. So we're trying to do fun stuff like that, like collaborate with the people in the neighborhood. The Edge District is something special. There's so much cool stuff, like you said, kudzus, if we can get that going. And
yeah, what's happening there? Do you know anything? I don't.
I see construction from time to time. I think they're just trying to find a reason to put some money into it, someone to take that leap.
It's such a unique, cool little spot. So
I will have to have Ellen keep her eye on that. See what we can figure out. But what's the timeline for Gussied Up? Any ideas, or just sometime next year?
sometime next year.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing like hard yet. You know, we're still figuring a lot of stuff out.
We're now, I guess the process we're in right now is there's a little holdup. We're trying to get the AC finally done with Hard Times so we can take that giant robot out of the out of the dining room. But we're starting to get like cost for everything, starting to get it designed out, what it's really going to look like. Again, we're very fortunate to work with John and Patrick. Patrick's unbelievable at what they do. So it'll be pretty seamless because the hard stuff like the kitchen and all of that is going to be shared. So yeah, sometime next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll be looking for it. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you both so much for being here. Really appreciate it. That's all the time we have. Again, this Soundbites, the Daily Memphians Food, Drink, and Dining podcast with me, Holly. You can listen for free all the time on your Apple Podcasts or your Spotify or dailymemphian.com. You can go back and listen to all the old episodes. You can read along little stories on Saturdays, usually dailymemphian.com. Stream it on your phone, on your computer. Subscribe. Send Natalie Van Gundy, our producer, a review, and she'll print it out and frame it on the wall of our new office, and it will be amazing. But thank you again so much, Cole and Harrison. Really appreciate y'all's time and your busy schedule.
Thank you for having
and
us.
yeah, absolutely. Good luck and cheers to everything.
Thank you. Yeah, thank y'all.